Hello and welcome to the Star Wars Empire at War Awakening of the Rebellion mod Let's Play, Part 10. Whew, that's a mouthful. I do believe I need to shorten that intro. I don't know what I'm supposed to shorten this thing to, just like Awakening of the Rebellion Let's Play, or something like that. I don't know, but all I know is that that intro is way too long. So, last time we left off with an invasion of Utapau, and and we were severely outnumbered. And I remember saying something, excuse me, about how the beginning of galactic conquest is so super boring and nothing happens. And then they invaded me in Utapau right as I said that, and I got shut right the fuck up because this space battle is about to rock your world. This is going to be awesome. But I'm definitely not going to spoil what happens in this battle. But as a preface, I am severely outnumbered. I have 3 dreadnought frigates and a couple of like corvettes and some fighters and 2 heroes that are good for anti-fighter duties. And what you see in the top, well, a little bit left of the space station, it's the Incom fighter station thing that you need to build in order to make fighters. And when actually in a battle, that's what it looks like. It looks like a little boxy hangar thing, and it doesn't have any weapons on it, but it spawns those like Marauder frigates and like 2 sets of really crappy fighters. About the Marauder frigates, I know that in the original game those fire missiles, like really deadly missiles from far away. In this mod, it's been replaced to just a turbo laser ion cannon battery. And it's not as cool as the missile launcher one, but then again I understand why, because it was very OP, and you could sit at a distance with those launcher things and they'd get really annoying. So, but they're very cheap now. They're like 900 credits or something. So they're alright, they're not bad. They provide a very good ion cannon ship, because the Rebellion doesn't have any ion cannons save Y-Wings and those Marauder frigates in the beginning. So those Marauder frigates give you ion cannons. And I was playing as the Empire, and those videos are coming, by the way. Trust me, I just need a lot of footage. But I was playing as the Empire, and I versed like 5 Marauder frigates, and they decimated a Star Destroyer because I couldn't kill them fast enough. I was surprised by that. Very surprised. But in a group of 2, they really won't do anything. So the first ship is coming up, and they're kind of scattered, bringing their ships in a scattered formation. Like, if I were to be in their perspective, they outnumber me with so many ships that I would just bring them as one single group and just steamroll through everything, but the AI doesn't think that way, and so the faster ships end up going before the rest of the main fleet. And so this is what happens when you get a lone ship versus a shitload of Y-Wings and a lot of fighter craft. Also, I have, of course, quick hotkeyed the fighters separate from the bombers, so that I can, like I'm doing right now, target fighter spacecraft, fighter spacecraft with my fighters, so that they don't attack the bombers. And it's much easier than pausing the game and trying to find the Y-Wings or the X-Wings separately, you know, that sort of. And, well, in that case, I'm using the heroes, since I want to use the X-Wings, because the X-Wings also come with torpedoes in this, so they act as fighter-bomber mix, which is pretty cool. I would say that very much differentiates them from the Empire ships, and that's cool, because the problem with Empire at War was also that the ships on either side, if it was Empire or Rebellion, in the original non-expansion pack, and even in the expansion pack, they felt very similar to each other. It was like they were cloning like every space level there was a clone of each ship on each side. It didn't really feel like a strategy game with just it was just like cloned units with different skins, and they did maybe they were a little different, but in the end they all did the same things. So, and here you could see how many ships they're bringing, and it doesn't look good for me, but I'm gonna fight them to the very last, to my very last ship. That's the plan. So, you're gonna see some really cool stuff. Oh, that ship, I don't think that ship has been introduced. I know it only flashed for a second, because I'm doing this post-commentary again, and which will change for the next episode, because I'm getting tired of post-commentary. Because I like to talk about my strategies as I'm doing them, and it feels kind of alienated when I'm doing them separately. I kind of realize that. It's easier, but at the same time it's not as fun. There's also a transport ship, apparently. I didn't even notice that. There's a little transport ship in the middle of all that. I wonder what it's carrying. I forget. It's been a while, and that's the problem. Live commentaries for the win. And, oh, there you have the Consortium hero Bossk battling this Ace Aziman, I believe, and Kyle Katarn in this ship, whatever this is. I know someone probably knows what this is. And that was a ship that was removed from the original game, but it was in the game code, so it's like it's one of those ships where in every mod you'll see the modders give Kyle Katarn the ship because the ship is in the code, because that model is used in land battles to just land him. You know how you drop reinforcements, so that lands Kyle Katarn. So that model is then just used and then plopped in. It's like one of the easiest things to mod into a game. So every mod has a Kyle Katarn with that shit. And I don't exactly know why they didn't in the original game to keep Kyle Katarn as a space unit as well. I don't know. Probably because they wanted to clone all the units, and that would have given the Rebellion too much space. Oh, this ship, right? Right there. So, which I'm targeting right now, since the Venator was kind of damaged, and I damaged him enough so that he's sort of out of the battle right now. And right now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to target the ships that are most in front of the space station, so I don't lose the space station. And so that ship is pretty cool. It's a mercenary Mandalorian ship, and it was actually added in the 2.50 Awakening of the Rebellion. So those of you that are running the 2.5 without the 0, it's very confusing. But those of you that are running that version of the mod, that ship I don't believe is in the mod at that current state. I believe that is a new thing. That's one of the most recent things that they added in. So it's a pretty cool ship. But as you can see, it's getting slaughtered by Y-Wings, and now I've grouped my small space force to try and drive back wounded ships, but it's not working that well because dreadnoughts are not that good versing capital ships. And those Geonosian frigates, the little skinny ones that they have, those things are pretty powerful, contrary to their size. If I were to play, and I did play, the pirate forces, that's the ship that I would spam. Every faction has a ship that you can spam, and every RTS, in fact, every RTS has a unit that you can spam, and be it, I remember Halo Wars had Hornets and Hawks that you could just spam, and they basically countered everything, it didn't matter. Be it, gosh, I can't think of a lot of RTSs off the top of my head. I know Age of Empires had quite a few that you could spam and get away with, like Britain, archers, longbowmen, I think. But anyways, examples regardless, RTSs have units that you can always spam, but you can never get perfect balance in RTSs because there's a lot of units. And so that's the ship I would spam, is that Geonosian, that skinny one. Number one, because the lasers miss. You could see lasers missing all the time on that ship because it's so skinny. And also because it comes with just ridiculous, it comes with the volley ability, and which just fires mass lasers, which is OP, I'm sorry, but that ability is very overpowered. It has no drawbacks. It speeds up your engines and your firepower. It doesn't even weaken your shields. It's just a massive volley, and it's kind of overpowered. So at this point, I'm moving my ships back in total retreat. Because as you can see in this awesome still shot, I mean awesome action sequence. What are you on, Bullet? Anyways, you can see that they're overrunning me very, very quickly. And my fighters are just scattered. That Geonosian frigate, oh, it's so close to dying. My point, oh, there we go, there it goes. So my point right now is to try and get these ships to like go like die one by one, but as you can see, it's just not working. We're getting slaughtered to the last man. And my space station is at its final defense. I tried to target that. I don't think that ship has been showcased either in the Let's Play at this point yet. I forget. But that Lucrehulk, the big droid control ship from the prequels, that's also in this mod. And it spawns a lot of fighters, I'll tell you that. And it's really cool. It's really cool. I just like the mixing. Oh, and there goes the Mandalorian ship. It just got destroyed. So you can see I'm providing a really cool defense. This space battle is really awesome. I'm providing a very strong defense as well. And you can see just how powerful Rebellion fighters are. You can see just how quickly they take out hardpoints on ships. They're a force to be reckoned with, really. If you do not have the proper fighter control, if you're not playing Rebellion, if you're playing against the Rebellion, you need to have anti-fighter stuff. And TIE fighters or these consortium ships aren't enough. Watch. Look at that fighter battle that's going on over there. Or actually, I might have spoken too soon. I think they do overrun me. Well, regardless, it's a really ridiculous starfighter battle. And this Geonosian frigate is down to 2 hard points. My space station just blew up. So, ladies and gentlemen, I do believe that this battle is lost. I'm trying it there. There goes the Geonosian frigate. So I do take out quite a lot of ships. But this space battle is awesome. Like, just watching the awesomeness. From a no longer playing standpoint, it looks really cool. What I'm doing here is I'm sacrificing the fighters, which in the first place are spawned from the space station, so they are not worth anything because they're just. I believe I said this in an earlier episode that they're just expendable. So so I just used them as diversion so that my heroes can escape because they were wounded and they were just going to get slaughtered. And you can see I took out 2 Geonosian frigates and a Mandalorian ship, but they overran my space defenses. And then the Empire, of course, does not relent. And they're attacking also another fighter production facility and a space station. I choose to just auto-resolve because they had too much Star Destroyers, and I wasn't going to be able to defend that. There's a limit to how much I can defend. And so I send out some defense fleets to try and take over Felucia, but in the corner of your screen you can see that they're reinforcing it. And I'm not paying attention as I play, and boom. Thank you kindly, sir. The Empire's like, nope. You can see I don't have anything. I was planning on just having like one enemy ship that I could just focus fire on. But it's not going to happen. Thankfully, the other fleet I did not directly send in on the ships. I send it to the nearby planet so that I can reinforce whenever I feel that there's an opportunity to attack. And I'm making use of the Rebellion's quick retreat time. Or not. What the hell am I doing? I am trying to be bold. Oh my goodness, I seriously have forgot what I did in this part. So this is interesting. So I guess I'll be a viewer just like you. I've been invited to a motion picture of how to get slaughtered. How to get the rebellion slaughtered, part 1. This is the feature presentation, folks. Seriously, in hindsight, what the hell am I doing? There's 2 Venators and a Star Destroyer. This is hilarious. So, I can't commentate on my stupidity because this is just really stupid. I can't even give you proper tactics because this isn't a tactic. This is just Idiocracy. Excellent movie, by the way. Idiocracy is amazing. I hear a lot of people bash that movie, but I find it just... It's so true in a kind of a cynical way. Like, yeah, it's an exaggerated form of what might happen to us as a society if we continue to be so reliant on media consumption and stop thinking for ourselves. It's a very serious threat, honestly. Sorry to get all political in a Star Wars commentary, but honestly, Idiocracy presents a very valid, sort of like a social commentary. It's a very funny movie, too, if you want to watch it. It's fantastic. I would really recommend that movie. If you haven't seen it, watch it. I still have a lot of movies I need to look up on. I'm not really a movie watcher. I actually, I am one of the people that you hear about that have canceled their cable subscription. I do not watch television, and I haven't watched it for... It's been 8 years since I haven't had cable TV. I watch all my shows either on Netflix or, you know, internet, you know, any sort of form of internet watching like Hulu or whatever, and in general, I just find TV to just be a little mind-numbing. See, I don't understand that argument. You know that argument that people present? That's like, oh, well, why are you wasting your life playing video games? And you'll hear older people always say this, because the newer generation, and newer meaning, I would say anyone that's about 20, 25 and below. That's what I mean, newer generation. Older generation's always like, oh, well, why are you wasting your time on video games? And then they go home, and then they plop right on the couch. I mean, of course, I'm generalizing, obviously, but there's a lot of situations where people just go home and just watch TV. But TV is such a mindless activity. Like, for example, in this Let's Play, like, yeah, I'm wasting time. This game is from 2007. I guess you could say this is wasting time. I don't find it a waste of time because, in all honesty, I feel that this, not only does this provide, everyone needs to have a form of enjoyment, of course. And if I can have a form of enjoyment that also requires me to also adapt and think on the fly, like I'm also not thinking in this certain scenario because I'm getting slaughtered, the Empire knows it too. I'm going to go off back to the gameplay for a bit, but the Empire knows it. Normally the AI will send all their ships back to the space station, but even the AI knows that I'm screwed. Like, so I don't know what I was doing here. I was trying to be brave. And, oh, yeah. Check these TIE fighters out. This is the moment. That was the moment. Now I remember. That was the moment where I was like, I'm an idiot. What am I doing? And there's that retreat button that should have happened right at the start of this battle. But yeah, back to the topic at hand. I don't understand. Like, people will go back and watch TV, and it'll be a brainless activity, and then they'll harp on you for playing video games. And video games sometimes is a social thing, like online and stuff. And here is the inevitable Utapau invasion now that Space Forces have been destroyed. So I do not have a shield generator. I do not have any form of defenses except some fighters. I have a ground tactician. I don't know. I do believe that has been showcased already in the Let's Play. Honestly, there's a lot of units in this mod, so I'll try and do a little presentation on every new unit that comes up, because there's really some cool stuff. But these fighters really helped me out, because you'll see why. And right about now, they land destroyer droids, and watch how fast they get. Destroyed. It's just funny. Even with the shields, they just get destroyed. Because my fighters also have shields, because they're rebellion fighters and they're overpowered. So also the strategy in this invasion is because Utapau has one landing zone that's very secluded from the rest of the landing zones, and they only get 3 reinforcements at a time. I'm just going to mad rush them at their deployment zone. You can see I've already destroyed their destroyer droids, and they can only land ships so fast, or land units so fast. So I'm just going to try and overpower them as quickly as I can, because they do have orbital bombardments and bombing runs, because they have those ships overhead that my space forces, of course, failed to prevent an assault from. So unfortunately, it takes a very long time for ground forces to traverse Utapau. It's like one of the largest... It's like a ring structure. It's one of the largest land maps in Empire at War that's not custom made. Which is a shame, because I feel that the land battles in this game are severely limited. Because the idea is that you're supposed to be invading a planet, and here's a skirmish with like maximum, maybe, I'd say the maximum amount of units I've ever seen in a land battle would be never more than 50. And I believe that there should have been way more. And you can see I'm just destroying their heroes with attack aircraft. And Tiberzan just took a torpedo to the face from an X-Wing. That must hurt, no matter what type of hero you are. And here my forces are getting a little overrun because they brought out their tanks. And I don't know what my fighters are doing, but they're definitely not doing what they're supposed to be doing. So I'm going to retreat a little bit. I'm trying to retreat to that that pad, the turret pad, to build like some turrets or something. And you can see my infantry are still lugging it, still haven't reached the zone, and the pirates, you can see they're just landing massive amounts of tanks and destroyer droids. I'm not even focusing the tanks as much as I want to get rid of their destroyer droids. You can see on the minimap, I noticed this, and that's why I paused. There's 3 dots on the minimap. That represents a bombing run. And it's coming in, and so I'm trying to not get slaughtered. Thankfully, this map's really large, so I have time to just move all my troops casually away, and oh, you missed. Thank you very much. And then I'm just going to come back with tanks again. A lone destroyer droid over here, just getting destroyed. And you can see they're also landing, like, what are those, like battle droids? No, those are like infantry, regular pirate infantry. The spammable type, that's right. I mentioned that before on the Bespin invasion. That those guys, because there's an upgrade in the Forces of Corruption that allows them to have these like phaser thing cannons. I don't know what they're called. And once you upgrade them that way in the mod, they become really overpowered, and I mean really overpowered. You can see over there that you have Mandalorian shock troops or something like that, and what they're doing is they're disabling the vehicle. Like, you see the little grenade, it actually paused perfectly. The little grenade that they shoot at, if they shoot at a vehicle, you can see they impede the vehicle and they can't move. So that's another interesting mechanic. I just like units that have interesting mechanics to them, that diversify the battlefield. And I know that's a pain to, excuse me, I burped a little, I know it's a pain to balance, but I feel that if you can get a balanced mod with diverse units, that is how you make a really good RTS. And because if you just clone units on each side, that just gets really boring. And that's why Empire at War, I believe, Empire at War tanked. And you can see they retreat, because I'm guessing they figured that they were losing too much units for what it was worth. But really, if you see how much forces I have left, I'm pretty sure they could have overran me. So, successful Utapau defense. Thank you very much. You can get by my space defenses, but you can't get past my ground battles. I hope I have not jinxed myself, but I do believe that that is a firm statement that I can attest to. So I'm just going to probably be checking out... Let's see, what can I say about this situation up here? It's really... I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's a very bad situation because Bastion is a very important world to defend. That's a lot of money up there that I'm going to lose if I lose. Because once I lose one, just like in Felucia over here, you could see you lose that main choke point, the main planet, and you can see what starts happening. They start sending ships out, and you don't have those planets as defense, as up defenses, because you don't have enough money to defend, to up your defenses on all those maps. And sometimes the ground battles are not even, the ground layouts are not even that good for defending. So even if you do have like shield generators and turbo lasers, you'll still get overrun. But anyways, this is going to be the end for this commentary. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in part 11. Bye-bye.